How could anybody blow through upwards of $50 million?
He was convicted on Monday.
Former Bachelor Chris Soules.
Toni Braxton!
You know what's even more volatile than the stock market? The career of celebrities. One day, people just can't get enough of you, and you'd be getting projects left and right. And the next day, you're just a forgotten piece of history, unable to provide for your most basic needs. Unfortunately, such is the nature of show business. The limelight is easily bored and frequently moves on to the next pretty young thing, extremely quickly. That's why it's no longer surprising that some stars who have grown accustomed to the high life eventually lose it all when their careers are no longer booming. It's a sad thing to see, especially from child stars who know no different. Many celebrities have found themselves in hot water in recent years just trying to get by. So, here are 11 celebrities that have gone completely broke and lost it all in recent years. But before that, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Number 1. Toni Braxton. This doesn't actually come as a surprise for those who've been following her chaotic path to stardom and back. The Unbreak My Heart singer has filed for bankruptcy twice already, once in 1998 and then again in 2010. She actually did okay for a couple of years after that, but it seems that she's back to square one again.
I have my moments, I have my days, good days and bad days. I can't deny it.
The culprit? Tax.
Hey, love, how are you?
I'm good. What are you doing at the courthouse today?
According to reports, Tori owed the IRS close to $1 million in back taxes. So pay your taxes, kids. It's not worth all the trouble. It will eventually catch up to you. Number 2. Erin Heatherton. Imagine dating Leonardo DiCaprio and not wiping off your entire debt. Just kidding. We totally do not condone gold digging, but it's kind of strange that a young Victoria's Secret model would lose all of her money.
I really feel like I earned my wings this year. It's just been better than I could have imagined.
Heatherton announced bankruptcy in 2019, a shocking revelation given that she earned over $200,000 back in 2017. But as we said, it's a fickle business after all. In 2018, she made just $18,000 for the whole year. A lion's share of that went to the infamous Los Angeles rent, and she had no choice but to file for insolvency once she was left with a little less than $1,000 to her name. It's crazy to see these online famous people that are actually struggling. Number 3. R. Kelly. R. Kelly's life has been an endless horror show for years now, and he's got no one to blame for it but himself. Last year, he was slapped with 18 charges of kidnapping, forced labor, and other more terrible felonies. Add that to the 10 counts of abuse he faced early last year, and you can only imagine how deep the pit he's in.
What do you want to say to R. Kelly if he's watching?
Why? Why?
Not just in terms of legal troubles, but the financial worries that come with them. In fact, R. Kelly has become so dirt poor he can't even scoop up enough money for his own bail, which was around $100,000. The problem with this situation is that it begins a cycle of trouble for anyone. For example, because of his legal troubles, R. Kelly had his entire savings account cleaned up, and because he doesn't have any money, he can't pay child support amounting to over $100,000, which landed him in more legal troubles. Well, he should have thought of that before engaging in horrible behaviors, don't you think? Number 4. Katie Price. I'm sure every one of us has dreamed of going on Big Brother, winning the whole thing, and never going hungry ever again. Well, Katie Price did all that.
Katie Price.
What is going on?
Congratulations, you are the winner of Celebrity Big Brother.
Almost. She did win the reality TV show and officially became a career reality star with several appearances on UK's most loved reality TV shows like My Crazy Life. But all this didn't stop her from completely going broke last year. She even had to go to court to file for rehabilitation, or what they call a repayment plan, to assist her in paying back her debt. No one really knows how Katie was able to lose that much money. $52 million in net worth, to be exact, in such a short span of time. But we have a couple of guesses. Before her bankruptcy, we were all jealous over reports saying that the reality celeb spent over £1,000 or about $1,300 on groceries, just for 1 week. It's all fun and games until you blow through everything you've worked for and now trying to figure out where your next dollar is coming from. Number 5. Mel B. The Spice Girls are so much of icons and legends that it's almost impossible to picture any one of them broke. But Melanie Brown, or more commonly known as Mel B, has come to surprise us all. Unlike the other celebrities on this list though, Mel B wasn't simply irresponsible with the way she handled her fortune. She just got knocked into a different life after suffering verbal and even financial abuse from her second husband, Stephen Belafonte. He apparently took over her finances. In an interview, she said she couldn't even have her own laptop or bank details. Luckily, Scary Spice was able to escape this terrifying ordeal, but it wasn't easy to pull herself up from the bootstraps.
I just try and keep everything together as much as possible.
She left the home of her problematic paramour with only her suitcase filled with clothes and about $1,000 in cash. There was no way she could pay the $350,000 divorce proceedings costs, not to mention the $5,000 she was ordered to pay monthly for child support. The cherry on top? She and her husband still owe thousands of dollars to the IRS. That's bound to acquire more and more stresses, so we really don't know how Mel B will rebound from all of this. Given that she's currently unemployed, hopefully Mel B finds a way out and doesn't spiral down. Number 6. Harvey Weinstein. Here's another celebrity who is difficult to feel sorry for, although it's a bit of a cheat since it's not clear if Harvey Weinstein is actually completely broke as of last year. Still, this producer has had a steep fall from grace since his legal battles began. Imagine facing 2 formal sexual misconduct cases and dealing with 80 others under the table.
50-plus women who are now leveling sexual allegations or rape allegations against Weinstein.
Rumor has it that Weinstein spent no less than $44 million just to deal with these lawsuits. Add it to the $20 million he lost after the divorce. Celebrity Net Worth reported that Harvey has lost a whopping $250 million since these troubles began. And if that's not yet his entire fortune, we can imagine it's at least a huge chunk of it. So aside from paying your taxes on time, remember kids that it doesn't really pay to do bad things. It's good to spend hard-earned cash on trips and private yachts, but it's gotta hurt to simply lose all of it on attorney fees. But then again, Harvey brought all of this upon himself. The one who deserves more of our empathy, to be honest, is number 7 on this list. We're talking about Rose McGowan. She was one of the first women who came forward with accusations of clandestine misconduct against our number 6, Harvey Weinstein.
What happened to me behind the scenes happens to all of us in this society, and that cannot stand, and it will not stand.
You know what they say, the wheels of justice grind exceedingly well if you've got the money to pay for it. This led to an unfortunate situation which saw Rose trying to sell her own home back in 2018. She has repeatedly criticized the broadsheets, tabloids, and TV shows that got all the credit for supposedly exposing the truth about Harvey Weinstein, even though she's the one who did all the grunt work. Now she's poor after spending everything on legal bills. Life is already tricky enough at times. You don't want to be adding the pain and trickiness of life by doing silly things. I'd hold on to your hats for this one because number 8 is huge. Do you remember Dorit Kemsley, the one with the accent? The whole world turned their pitiful eyes on her when she tried to sell her mansion for a $4 million discount.
Welcome to my house. Come on in.
Not a pretty way to open 2019 for her. Well, apparently the Beverly Hills housewife got so deeply entangled with her husband's financial worries that it began to be impossible to get out now. Sources say her husband got sued for over $1 million back in 2016. It's not for something criminal, don't worry. It's a civil case at best, with Nico Kurzis just hoping to get back the money he loaned the reality star about a decade ago.
Everything is perfect.
We're gonna work out that money issue then, right?
Oh, there is no money issue.
There is none? Okay.
No money issue.
It wouldn't have been so bad, but here's the catch. PK was already trying his best to pay back $3.6 million he owed a casino marker. That's such a deep debt, and PK dragged his wife down with him. In June of last year, PK's creditors were able to take hold of a bank account shared by PK and Dorit after the court ordered their bank accounts frozen. But their financial struggles were not left behind when the new year rolled in. For 2020, Dorit is facing another mediation case, having failed to repay over $200,000 in business loans she got from a business partner. The waiting time is over, and this goes to trial this year if she still doesn't pay up. Well, it's complicated, really. So now we're adding another timeless tip for you. Pay taxes, don't be a felon, and also don't borrow too much money if you can't pay it back. It's pretty simple stuff, guys. Number 9, Chris Soules. You really can't appear on The Bachelor without being insanely attractive and rich, right? Everybody knows this. Once upon a time, Chris Soules was both of these things. But now, unfortunately, he's just got his looks. This handsome dude has fallen from grace, losing most of his $1.5 million net worth. The downfall started in 2017, when he accidentally rear-ended a tractor, which resulted in the killing of a 66-year-old Vietnam veteran.
Is anybody injured?
Yes. I rear-ended a guy in a tractor.
The thing that implicated him, though, was immediately leaving the scene of the wrongful death. This landed him in a lawsuit that he really couldn't afford. That was a whopping $2.5 million. He even needed the help of his parents to cover the cost of the whole thing, as The Bachelor couldn't do it on his own. So that's another tip for you guys. An aggravated misdemeanor does not have to cost you multi-millions if you don't flee the scene at once, which you should never do anyway. Number 10, Damon Dash. If you or I woke up with $50 million, chances are we wouldn't even know how to spend it all. But somehow Rockefeller co-founder Damon Dash blew through that much money. Now, he is just as broke as the rest of us, but there is some solace knowing that most of it was spent on his kids. But like a lot of broke celebrities on the list, Dash also used up a lot of his funds on lawsuits. Maybe it's time we consider a new career in law.
How come you never talk about the positive stuff? Because I'm black? Because you're Republican?
Lawyers seem to be sucking all of our stars dry. Right now, Damon has no clear source of funds, although Lee Daniels still owes him $2 million. He might be able to knock on the doors of his good friend Jay-Z for some sort of a bailout. Who knows? We're just trying to help, I guess. Number 11, Mohamed Hadid. The Hadid sisters might have had to work double time in the modeling world to help out their dad, who's in a bit of a tight spot financially. His construction business empire, which once boomed, filed for bankruptcy last year, losing way more than Hadid's whole net worth of $5 million.
We've been through wars, right?
Yeah. So you're building the world's tallest residential building in Cairo?
Stars. They're just like us. Apparently, Hadid suffered through a failed real estate deal right inside of Bel Air. The incredible mansion was supposed to set Hadid out for the rest of his life, as the deal was reportedly worth $100 million. Things started to go south when they couldn't continue on with the deal because a judge cracked down on it, saying it was not on par with safety codes and was declared dangerous to the neighboring houses. Mohamed himself had to tear the property down upon the orders of the judge, but he doesn't even have enough money to pay it. Instead of a $100 million project to his name, he has acquired even more debt just for the demolition. So, as you can see, as much as some of our favorite stars once upon a time were doing a fantastic job, there comes a point when you have to make the right choices, investments, and overall life decisions. Otherwise, you may lose it all. Nothing lasts forever. And if something is working well for you now, make sure you embrace it and enjoy it, because there may come a time when something unexpected happens. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video.